Dr. Roshan was appointed by the government and his duty was assigned to a small village in Uttar Pradesh called Gangapur. In Gangapur, for the past few days, many people were going mad due to an illness, and some even died from weakness. Dr. Roshan was sent to Gangapur to treat this illness. As soon as he set foot in the village, Dr. Roshan directly examined a patient suffering from the illness. Roshan observed that the patient's body had strange marks, as if someone had scratched them forcefully, and their body had turned blue. Additionally, their veins were so swollen that they seemed about to burst. This was happening exactly the same way with every patient suffering from the illness. Roshan couldn't understand anything because he was seeing such an illness for the first time. When Roshan met the village chief of Gangapur, the chief told him that people were not suffering from any illness, but rather it was a curse from a goddess that had befallen them. He said that all these were construction workers who had been given the task of repairing the goddess's temple. During the repairs, the temple was closed, and no one was allowed to enter, not even the temple priest. It is believed here that to keep the goddess happy, one must sacrifice their blood and offer it. And when the temple was closed, no one offered blood to the goddess, which is why she became angry, and now her wrath is heavily affecting everyone. The chief said that a sacrifice must be made to the goddess soon, otherwise she will continue to take the lives of Gangapur's people. The chief advised Roshan to leave the village immediately, but Roshan was a very educated and progressive man who did not believe in any of this. He thought these were all false tales that had been passed down for centuries. However, when Roshan learned more about the history of Gangapur, he got goosebumps. One day, as he was passing by the temple in Gangapur, he saw a strange old woman sitting under a tree, staring at him. As Roshan passed by her, she came directly in front of him. Her hair was disheveled, and it seemed like she hadn't bathed in months. Suddenly, she started muttering like a mad person, "Come back! Stop!" And while muttering this, the old woman fell to the ground and started having seizures. Roshan was startled by the actions of that crazy old woman. There was another man wandering there, who chased the crazy woman away. And then, that man told Roshan about Rukmani. He said that about 2 years ago, the 16-year-old daughter of that crazy woman wandered into the temple of the goddess, and ever since she returned, it seemed as if someone had cast a black magic spell on her. She started talking in a strange manner. She would eat dirt and insects covered in dirt, and sometimes she would spit into the village well's water, or cut her hand with a knife and let her blood drip into the well. People began to think that when she went to the temple, she must have unintentionally angered the goddess. As a result, the goddess, in her anger, cursed Rukmani. Soon, Rukmani's condition worsened, and one day, she disappeared from the village and has been missing ever since. Her elderly mother couldn't bear the grief of her departure and went mad. Now, whenever she sees any passerby, she starts calling them Rukmani and begins to have fits. Hearing Roshan's story made the heart sink, Mum, but still, he asked the man if he truly believed that all this happened because of the goddess's curse. The man said that whether he believes it or not, the truth will not change. He said that for many years, countless people have disappeared in Gangapur, and many have died. Many people have been posed like Rukmani. That night, Roshan kept thinking about Rukmani and had a hard time falling asleep. But in the middle of the night, Roshan was suddenly awakened by the sound of dripping water. He saw that something was dripping down from the fan above. When Roshan looked closely, he was shocked. It wasn't water, but drops of blood. Roshan saw that his entire room was covered in blood. And there were footprints in that blood as well. Following those footprints, Roshan reached outside his house and saw a girl around 16 or 17 years old sitting on the ground, eating dirt and mud-covered insects like a mad person. Her body looked exactly as if she was suffering from the same disease. Not only was she about to faint, but her face was blue, with strange marks, and there was blood scattered around the girl. The girl suddenly stood up, and started walking towards Roshan in a very strange manner. And then she suddenly grabbed Roshan by the neck and lifted him into the air. Before Roshan could do anything, the girl's eyes turned white. She became strange and started having odd seizures. She released Roshan's throat, and he fell to the ground. As soon as Roshan fell, the girl also fainted. When Roshan checked her, the girl was not breathing. Roshan immediately took him to the hospital. But what he found out there sent shivers down his spine. When the girl was tested, it was found that she had not died that night, but had died many days ago, and she was none other than Rukmani, the daughter of the mad woman living in that village. Roshni was heartbroken. But when he returned to his home, there were no footprints inside his house, nor was there a single drop of blood in the room. Roshan could not understand what was happening to him that night. Roshan, he just started waiting for the morning, and the next day, Roshan left Gangapur forever. Even today, he keeps wondering that if Rukmani was already dead, then how and why did he see her that night? Was it really true that Rukmani and those construction workers were blessed by the goddess? What do you think? Be sure to let us know in the comments.